Hey guys, hope everyone in Asheville is enjoying this incredibly gloomy weather. I know I am. I often joke with another pale bestie of my bestie Margaret. We're both like translucent redheads, and we're like, everyone's like, oh my God, I love the sun. We're like, we love clouds and rain and natural SPF, which is always our thing. But when it's gloomy, I'm happy. When it's sunshiny, I'm cranky. It's been an interesting couple weeks. I turned 43, which I'm really excited about. I love odd numbers. I don't know what it is, but I'm like obsessed. I love being in my 40s. It's been pretty amazing so far, but odd numbers are my jam. The one thing I will say is that I feel like, and a lot of people may resonate with this, I feel like there's a lot of endings coming in my life right now, and I was kind of like unprepared for them. Specifically a lot of like death that is incoming, and a lot of endings. A lot of that I have had the honor of having my cat Little Jack with me for now 17 and a half years. He's 19 and a half, but we're nearing the end. He's in kidney failure. That's been hard. But also like we've had an awesome life, and I've never would have thought I would have this long with him. So I'm very grateful. But even down to other endings that I'm having, including like my living situation and reevaluating that, there's an ending and a new beginning to my business too. There's a lot of other things that are going to be in the making for me to grow my business in a really big way that I'm very excited about, but it's going to have to involve me almost like turning the model on its head that I've got, which is fine. But it's to help me grow and grow faster. So that's another thing. But I will say this is that for a lot of you out there, also in this shit economy that we're in and shit political environment that we're all coexisting in as Americans, I just feel like a lot of people are going to be experiencing endings, whether it's death, loss, or just like navigating and closing relationships, which can be really scary. And I feel like sometimes those things come like tower moments, like really quickly, where it's just closing chapters left and right. And it's like designed to help you grow in a very quick way and not give you an option to stay stagnant. So just keep that in mind if you're in the middle of it and going through it. But I'm going to pull runes around it. I want to just see it. It's a really, in this space where I'm at right now, I feel like, oh, thank God for my therapist, but like I go to therapy every week, and we focus on things that are going on, and I'm able to navigate piecemeal what's happening with me. If I wasn't doing that, I wouldn't be doing so well right now. I'll tell you that. I'll cry about my cat later, but it's just more about overall endings. So I just want to pull some runes in honor of the endings. So Esau's is stillness, and I feel like a lot of times where there is a lot of like multiple endings happening at once in your life, and you may feel it in different ways, where there is death, or it is like ending of relationships, or if there's windows and doors that are closing in your life, sometimes it's good to go still. Like current energy is Esau, so that's stillness. Sometimes it's good to go still and go within to kind of evaluate how you're feeling somatically in it, before you can make any kind of moves. In the challenge position is Raido, which is journey. And Raido and journey is like, it's almost like it's going to happen the way that it happens, whether you want it to or not. It's still going to be your journey. So whenever I just said that, I got the visual of like riding a raft down rapids, to just like, or even like being on a horse, like running downhill, to just kind of hold on and trust that you're going to go in the direction of where you're going safely. That wants to be found. Interesting. And the outcome of that is Kanu, which is opportunity, torch, opening. Whenever I pull Kanu specifically, it's like a window opens, but it's like up to you to gather the strength to move through that window. And I would see Kanu as like a precautionary tale too. There was a point where I was going through a massive life change, And I didn't know if I wanted to go through that life change with somebody in my life. And so I had taken myself out to the desert, and I actually stayed in an Airstream before I even lived in an Airstream. But I stayed in an Airstream, and I like wrote down pros and cons of like what was happening in my life. And it's like, you know, do I want that change to happen with that person, or do I need to like make change now, and so that it isn't more painful down the road? And when I was making those lists of pros and cons, at the end of the day, I realized that it's like I wanted to stay in the situation that I was in because I believed in it. I just didn't realize at the time that I was the only one doing all the work in the dynamic. And so I ended up moving, you know, I ended up making a major life decision with some circumstances sustaining themselves in my life in order to go through, instead of ending the relationship or circumstances I was in that moment. And so just kind of like wrap it up. If you are in a massive time of transitions or death, you know, endings in your life, stay still and just sit in that energy and just observe how it feels. The challenge of it is like, this is your journey. So like, hold on and like strap on a seatbelt and just like navigate yourself into that energy. And then coming out of it, I think coming out of that challenge and stepping into it, before you walk through the window of that new beginning, make sure that like you're ready for it, but also that you've got all of the plans in place to make it onto the other side. Like the story I was telling, it's like make all the pros and cons about, like, for example, with my living situation, you know, if I were to change my living situation, what are the pros and cons instead of staying where I'm staying? Or, you know, like what's to be benefited, you know, in a way, it's like, how can this move me in the direction I'm meant to go? So just something to evaluate. Change can be very uncomfortable, and it can be even more so, but it's designed to help us be better people stepping into our highest purpose or our greatest good. So you have to remember that. And that is the key with Raido, is you have to realize that all of this stuff that is seemingly negative, it's all for your greater good. Good luck. Hang in there. I'm going to do my best too. Have a good weekend.